All right, shalom, shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wukak, Wadash. I say double honors and give double honors to the apostles and the bishop elders of Great Millstone for teaching us His word in truth and sincerity and for ruling well. And salutations to my fellow Akim across the four corners of the globe, preaching and prophesying in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, the 144,000. The elect men, as well as the mixed multitude of men, women, and children from the four corners of the earth, also believing in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and our brother Gabar Yahweh from GMS Hawaii. Coming to you with another quick lesson. It's pretty late my time. It's like 2:17 in the morning, and I couldn't sleep, so I've been having a crazy headache, but through the Spirit, Lord willing, the Heavenly Father send me healing, and through His Son, Yahweh Bashem Shai. Okay, and Salakia. I just wanted to kind of reply to this video I'm watching by the elder Kazak Yala. I'm like 6 minutes in, and this had popped up earlier my time, and I saw the thumbnail, but the Spirit had me just watching these videos. And Shabbat Shalom to all you brothers out there, man. I just kind of wanted to give my own testimony, because this is a heavy topic, and brothers have suffered homelessness. Starting with the apostles and the bishop elders. I remember a story Apostle Gabar gave. He tells it time and time of him and Apostle Gabar and Apostle Ricard going through a period of homelessness themselves. Obviously we know the Wadi Yahweh Shai, they're not going through that. But there was a time in His truth where they had to suffer it, and Apostle Gabar speaks about it when him and Apostle Ricard had to sleep on the train. And I think another story of the apostles sharing a sandwich together. I think it might have been him and Apostle Ricard. I know him and Apostle Tahar did it. But I just want to play a little bit of this, and then I'll bring a precept out, and then I'll bring my own testimony out. So let me play this real quick.
I not seen the righteous yet again, and it should be comforting to you. Psalm chapter 37 and verse 25. I have been young and now am old, yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. So when you look at a lot of people that are out here, in particular homeless people, that's a spirit of being forsaken, and you see them down there on every street corner, begging for money, begging for food. Okay. But according to the scriptures, the Lord will look out for you, but let's balance it out, because the Lord does deal with balance. You can actually end up in that situation. You can actually be a man of the Lord, and the Lord puts you in that situation. But the thing is, it's going to be temporary. You're not going to just stay homeless, man.
Right. It's going to be temporary, and you're not just going to stay homeless. It's not going to be a situation where you're in a situation where that's going to be a permanent thing, where you just be homeless. Now, you're going to have rough patches. I have brothers having to link up with one another, i.e., say a brother might got some space in his home, and another brother, don't have a space to go. Well, that brother might offer you an opportunity to live with that brother for a certain amount of period of time, or y'all could help alleviate the burden of rent on one another. You know what I'm saying? Where you might pay half, and the other brother might pay half, or whatever, how y'all have it set up. But like the elder said, it's not going to be a situation where it's going to last a period of time. It's a struggle, It's a test of your faith, man. And I actually went through that. Salakia. I wanted to bring this precept out. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 2, verse, I'll start at 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in a time of trouble. Right now, when you in poverty, when you're homeless, that's the time of trouble. You know what I'm saying? Most people, especially when you come into this faith, man, and you go through that, that's a hard time. That's a time of extreme hardship. But you ain't supposed to make haste in a time of trouble, i.e. going back into the world and give up. That's just a test of your faith. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased in thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take it cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. And trust me, if you went from living in a house, having an overabundance of space, and then all of a sudden you're homeless, that's a lower state. But the Lord said, be patient when you're changed to a lower state. It says, be whatsoever is brought upon you, take it cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. It says to a lower state. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. And trust me, homelessness is adversity, man. But acceptable men will be what? Tried in the fire of adversity. Let me read that again. It says, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in a furnace of adversity, man. So that's the first thing. If you ever find yourself in that situation, don't take it as a slight, like you're being forsaken, because you're not. Like the elder's saying, like you see a lot of homeless people out here begging on the corners, and they're there. Like I see the same people sometimes in certain walks of my life, and they're in that situation. Some people is self-imposed, some people is just judgment, But if a man of the Lord got to go through that, you're not going to go through that for a long period of time. That's not what the Lord has for you. But it couldn't be a time of testing, and very soon, things are going to get so bad out here. The MOTB is going to be pushed on the world mandatorily, and us, that Lord willing, we part of the elect. Those that do not take it, we may have to suffer a period of homelessness, man. But hey, the Lord's going to make a way for us, But you have to be patient when you change to a lower state, all right? Now, like I said, this is like more like a testimony, and watch this elder's video, because for you brothers that's going through that, or you sisters that may be going through this video is going to be very uplifting to you. So definitely tune into the Elder Kazak page. His page is GMS Page Master, all right? And so, yeah, I actually went through this, like my first year in the truth. I went from having a 3-bedroom home, 2 cars, to having nothing. You know what I'm saying? I was going through a divorce. I don't even think I was going through a divorce at the time. I was like in the process of being separated. And my demon left. I couldn't afford the rent in the house, and I got evicted. I wasn't going to say basically no, I got evicted. You know what I'm saying? And if it wasn't for Yahweh Shem, I was shy, I wouldn't have had a place to go to. But through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem, I was shy. I actually lived around a corner from a veteran shelter. And I had to check into the shelter. So that wouldn't mean I was homeless, and then I'm sleeping in at first, the first night, or the first couple of nights, you got to sleep in they call it like an annex. It's like not even I was sleeping on a cot, in the little trailer that they give you breakfast out of. You know what I'm saying? I'm sleeping in shit was crazy. You know what I'm saying? But like the elder said, he said that it's temporary. That's not going to be a permanent thing. And it was. I went from sleeping in a trailer for like a couple of days, and then I got to sleep. They assigned me a room, which I was in a room with a few other people. And at the time, I have sleep apnea, so snoring is crazy, and they were complaining about it. So I ended up having to sleep in my car while at a shelter. You know what I mean? But through the spirit of probably out by Shema Shai, I think I stayed there for about a month, maybe 2 months. I think it was probably about 2 months I was in there, but I was still going to camp. And this was back when it was just me out here. I remember I was in contact with Elder Ibad and Bishop Elder Salakia, Bishop Elder Ibad. He was like the elder that they had put me in contact, the apostles had put me in contact with. And I was also in contact with the elder brother out there in Alaska, the head of the Alaska camp, Yerumya. Yerumya is how we say his name, right? And that was it. And I think I had just got in contact with a brother that was on the Big Island, but he's a help. He wasn't like, I thought he was out here. I was like, oh, let's whole camp together. I think that was after I got my police and whatnot. But long story short, the point of the matter is I faced homelessness, and it was a temporary thing. After a couple of months of being homeless, Spirit of Yahweh Shah jumped on me, and I was able to get the place that I stay right now. I've been here ever since. I've been here for 10 years? You know what I'm saying? But just about 10 years I've been in this apartment. You know what I mean? And so just here to let you know that, if any of you brothers are going through a situation of homelessness, that it is a temporary thing, like the elder said. It's a temporary situation. It's not going to be a permanent situation. And Yahweh Bashim Shah is going to bring you up out of that. I got another precept. Just bear with me. Okay. I got another precept. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 26, verse 28. It says, there be two things that grieve my heart, and a third maketh me angry. It says, a man of war that suffereth poverty, and men of understanding that are not set by, and one that returneth from righteousness to sin. The Lord prepareth such as one for the sword. So the points in the middle of this verse, it says, there be two things that grieve my heart, and the third maketh me angry. A man of war that suffereth poverty, right? And hey, that was me. You know what I'm saying? I was a veteran. I am a veteran. You know what I'm saying? I was going through all kinds of shit. I was just right during the time of me having a home and then suffering poverty, i.e. homelessness, and going into that shelter. I remember that precept, and the Spirit of the Lord still had me going out there doing the work, going to camp. I don't even think I had a car at the time. I lost my car. I lost everything, bro. I lost everything. And I had just came into the truth. So, man, bro, it was a heavy time. But like the elder said, it was a temporary situation. And the Lord, like I said, he gave me this apartment that I currently live in today. The Wadi Yahweh Bashim Shah. So, in America, veterans are suffering homelessness is a common experience in the Army. For veterans, Salakia. Doesn't matter if you're Army, Marine, Navy, Air Force, that's a common thing, man. And that's something that grieved the Most High's heart. He don't like that a man of war to suffer poverty, man. Because here it is, you put your life on the line for this devil, and you would think the least he would do is, give you a place to stay for the rest of your life. And I myself had deployed 4 times. I deployed downrange 4 times, and he only gave me credit for three of my deployments. My 4th deployment was to Afghanistan, and I had I was medevac out of Afghanistan, out of the theater in Afghanistan, back to here to Hawaii, and then it was just a downfall from there. I had to get out the military. I didn't get kicked out. I ended my time in service, but I was forced to end my time in service. My marriage was falling apart. Like I said, I was just coming into the truth, around like 2014, 2013, 2014. I found out about the truth the top of 2013, literally when I got out the military in January, and I started to put my hand to the plow. And I was still going through that transition of all of the other stuff, but I was still going out there preaching and prophesying. And that's another thing, you got brothers out there that might just be waking up to this truth. And you might link up with brothers that, that's already, rooted in the faith, man. And you're pushing all your problems on these brothers, man. You got to be careful because you don't know what brothers is going through, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes you got to suffer your lot. And homelessness may be your lot, brothers, but it's going to be a temporary lot. It's not going to be a permanent lot. You know what I mean? The Lord going to make a way. He's not going to have us out here eating out of trash. Matter of fact, I had that precept right here, Proverbs 30:7. 2 things have I required of thee, deny me them not before I die. Verse 8, remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me. In the NLT it says, I'll read it verbatim. O God, O Most High, Yahweh Bashar, I beg 2 favors from you. Let me have them before I die. First, help me never to tell a lie. Second, give me neither poverty nor riches. Give me just enough to satisfy my needs. And Apostle Gabar, he expresses that sentiment a lot. You know what I'm saying? He tells us all the time that, look, in this truth, we're not going to be poor and we're not going to be rich. We're just going to be right there in the middle. We're going to have just enough, and that's pretty much all we need. It's convenience, which is good enough for you. Feed me with that which is convenient, So, you see somebody that's poor and like a homeless person, or you see somebody that's super rich, in this truth, man, you got to ask the question, like, is this person in the truth? Because the Lord ain't going to make you rich in his truth. We're going to be rich in faith, but you ain't going to be rich in money and abundance and material wealth. And also, too, you're not going to be digging out the trash, eating food. And why? Let's keep on reading. Verse 9, lest I be full and deny thee and say, who is the Lord? Or lest I be poor and steal and take the name of my power in vain. You see? Because people will get rich, you'll get wealthy in this truth, and you'll forget the Lord because your money becomes your God. You'll be like, well, look, I got enough money, I can deliver myself. I don't need the Lord. So then you blaspheme the Heavenly Father, You deny the Most High. Or you'll be poor, you know what I'm saying, and you're digging out of the trash, and you'll take the Lord's name in vain. Like, I thought I was a man of the Lord. Why am I eating out of a trash can? Why am I living in a cardboard box? Why am I living in a shelter? You know what I'm saying? So, again, if you suffer those things, it'll be a temporary thing, especially homelessness. But it ain't going to be a permanent thing. And that's how you know that the Lord is dealing with you, because he's going to deliver you out of that street. And for me personally, I had to suffer that. I had to go through that. I didn't have my the place that I was living in at the time, the home that I had, I was paying like $2,100 in rent, and this is before like rent was sky fucking high. This is like 2014, and I'm living in Hawaii. Things have always been expensive in Hawaii, but at the time, when I had that place, I could afford it because I was in the Army, active duty, and so they basically paid for my rent. But when I got out, I couldn't afford it no more, and then I was catching all that hell by my ex-wife at the time, or my wife at the time, now that's my ex-wife. I was catching all that hell from her, and I was coming into the truth, so I was battling a lot. But Yahweh Bashar delivered me from that, and like I said, he gave me a place to stay. He got my finances in order, and I was able to afford it. Actually, he got my finances in order while I was in the homeless shelter, and the homeless shelter was about to put me out because they said I made too much money. But they didn't help me find a place. You know what I'm saying? Yahweh Bashar did that. He put the spirit on me one night. I think it was a couple of days, matter of fact. It was a couple of days. I was just researching it myself. And then the Lord gave me the money, and I was able to put a first and last month deposit, and even my landlord, even my landlord now, when he's the owner of the building that I live in right now, he was able to, I was able to explain my situation, and he helped me out, and I had this place ever since, man. So it's the Wadi Yahweh Shai. I'm a living testimony that Yahweh Shai will deliver you from homelessness, and that it is a temporary thing and not a permanent thing, and that's why we need the kingdom more and more, because we don't have no authority out here, man. All of us shit pretty much is like one check away from homelessness. Shit, that's the average American, how much more those people in the developing nations, man. That's why we need the kingdom of heaven, because in the kingdom of heaven we ain't gonna have to worry about paying rent and mortgage and shit like that, car notes and shit like that. This is another precept. This is the book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 8, says, "Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments, according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our God." So rent is a payment. You know what I'm saying, brothers? Car notes is payments. So that's how you know we're in captivity. That's how you know we're the Israelites, bro. We gotta be. Not those people over there perpetrating a fraud over there in Israel, claiming to be the Lord's people, man. Running around here dressed in black and white, those Masonic colors, wearing those damn fedoras on their head and curls on the side of their head. Nah, those ain't the Lord's people. Them some of the richest people on the planet Earth, man. But we're the ones that's really going through those curses, man. And it's not self-imposed. This is put down here by the Lord. So again, we are yet this day in our captivity, where we are subject for payments, man. And again, rent is a payment. Mortgage is a payment. You know what I'm saying? And some of us had to go through that. And some of you young brothers or young sisters is coming in this faith, you may even go through that shit. You might be a brother that's rooted in the faith going through that right now, man. But the Lord, I'm here to tell you that Yahweh Shai is going to deliver you from that. He ain't going to keep you in that situation. That's not going to be a permanent state, And this is my testimony of that, being homeless and in the truth, man. At a time, I was homeless and I was just coming into the truth, So the Wadi Yahweh Shai. That again, I'm here to let you know that the Lord will deliver you out of that, because I myself went through that, So I didn't want to make this too long. I wanted to make it short and concise, but the Lord, Yahweh Shai, will deliver you from that. And I'm living proof of that. That was Shalom, and on to the next.